Welcome to Fragmental.
An amusing take on random topics. So we are back. What, 3 weeks
We're
out?
back. Yeah.
Again. Not
Yeah,
bad.
was that you had a vacation in between there, right?
Did I? I don't fucking know
This
anymore, man. I got so
that's
much
what I'm
vacation time.
trying to figure, like, how far off are we? Like, did you have your Yeah, you
No,
guys went on vacation, didn't you?
no, we got back from vacation. We did.
Oh, it was
No, wait.
okay.
Maybe
That's what
we
I'm trying
were
to
on
remember.
vacation.
Were you
No,
back the week before the Carrie episode, or was it
we were back. We were back before the Carrie episode. So that's what we had to move it to the
Alright.
20th. We had to move it to the 20th because she wanted to do it on like my anniversary, like the actual date of my anniversary when I'm out of
Oh,
town.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
probably
that would have
when you
went
went over.
really well.
Yeah, I don't think my wife would appreciate that. Excuse me, I gotta get online and do a threesome with Mike and Carrie. What? We're gonna be late for
that's
dinner, and
yeah.
I already got the hookers lined up. What? Oh, sorry, I gotta go, Mike. Sorry.
You're right. I got the good kind of threesome coming.
Exactly. I got the real threesome coming.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's nice to be back. Just
Yeah.
a little bit going on in the world.
Just slight. Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody. Is there anything going on in the news? I haven't really been paying attention. Holy shit! Man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
That
remember.
was
I'm sorry. I don't
Good.
remember like 2016, and I don't remember what was the Gore
that was
Bush one. Was that
2000.
2000?
That was my
2000.
freshman year of college, so I remember that pretty. Yeah, right. Because for most of us, that was our first. Actually, for every college freshman
Yeah,
that year, that
it
was our
was
first vote.
first
So that was a big
vote.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I voted in that. I'm pretty sure I did. I mean, I would have been of age. So, but what was I gonna say? Oh man, the fucking like it's man the new we started to talk about this and then we decided to put it on the air here. But man, the fucking news organizations were going ape shit.
I mean, I guess if you're like in the news media, could it have gone? For me, it sucked because it was constant. But for the news, like whether it's cable news or even your major networks, like they struck gold, right? I mean,
Oh
it was
god,
nonstop.
it nonstop. I mean, you had channels that were like that's all they did is election coverage for what? So everybody voted Tuesday. They dragged that thing
Yeah,
out till Saturday.
yeah,
It was Saturday. Yeah, fucking
yeah.
4
It was
days.
all the way to
That's
Saturday.
that's worse than fucking NFL coverage after the game. You know what I mean? That game ends on Sunday, and they talk about the fucking thing for the next 6 days.
Oh man, it was to the point. I know I was texting with you. I think it was Thursday night where I was just like, I'm tired of this shit. Like I'm just gonna go on YouTube. Like it was. I looked up the Wayne's World 2 fight scene. Like I was just looking for stupid shit to laugh at that point. Like
We
I'm
were
I'm
watching.
tired of hearing all this.
Oh, it just gets old. Well, they got to a point where it was just there was no additional news, right? I mean, it was just
Right.
nothing had changed. It's like, and yeah, the vote count in Pennsylvania was at like 57% for 4 days, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
They're like this just in 15 votes for Biden, 12 for Trump. You're like 20 like you've been on all damn night and 27 votes came in?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We watched
Yeah,
the BBC. We tuned into the BBC mostly just for BBC
yeah, how
News.
was that?
It was actually quite good. There's a I can't think of my wife, my sister-in-law was in town. And we were watching the BBC, and the news anchor for the BBC News one is like her name's like Kit Carrison or Katie Kit or something. I don't know. It's got some weird name. She's really good. I mean, she always has
Yeah?
like a little hint of like this little smirk on her face. Like she wants to, like my sister-in-law said, you just feel like she's gonna wink at you in a second, like when she tells a line. But I like the way that they did it because they've got no. It's mostly unbiased, right? For the most part, it's mostly unbiased. I mean, they got their own fucking shit show with Boris Johnson. So,
With Boris Johnson, Brexit, all that stuff. Yeah, they've had
yeah,
more than their share of.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And but they were hammering both sides. They'd have like a Democrat strategist on, and they'd say something, and they come roaring back at him, and they fire some questions back at him, like, well, that what about this? And they're like, well, this, and this. Well, that doesn't make any sense because of X, X, and X, and whatever. And they did it to both sides. That's what's kind of interesting is, there was pretty nonpartisan, or yeah, it was not pretty nonpartisan.
Yeah,
So they weren't really seeing the one side. But we flipped over
but
to
that's good though. Yeah,
no, it is. No, it absolutely is. We flipped
yeah,
over to
hell yeah.
Fox for a little bit just to see what they were saying, and we flipped back to MSNBC. I mean, if you're get Fox and MSNBC are basically I don't not the far they're farther right and farther
Yeah,
left.
they're pretty polarizing to the other way for sure. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was somewhere. We tried to flip around. I thought Savannah Guthrie was solid. Like when they would have a Republican person on, a Democrat person. Like I thought she still asked good questions to both of them. Like I didn't
Yeah,
feel like and NBC tends to be more Democrat, but I didn't feel like she was on the attack. I mean, I forget who their main correspondent is, but that guy, I mean, it's pretty obvious where he leans. But I thought she did a good job. But I mean, some of them like I saw a clip from MSNBC where they were like, Trump actually doing better in Miami than expected, and Rachel Maddow, who I can't stand, is like, oh my god, like the most dramatic, like what is this, an '80s movie? And it's just like, come on, you're the national correspondent, national anchor
anchor,
here
right?
for MSNBC. Like you come at least be a little bit unbiased. Like
Yeah,
at least a little bit. Come on.
yeah. At least act like you're leaning towards the center. That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
But it was funny though, flipping the channels, because you'd see some, right, and you're on Fox News, and they're like, "So how do you feel, Tom?" Well, Biden can suck a dick, Bob. That's pretty much what we're hearing back here. Back to you, you know. And then you
Yeah.
go to right on whatever MSNBC, and you've got that, and then you've got, well, I mean, looks like Trump's double fist and black cocks in the back room here. I really don't know where to go from that. You know, like you're like,
That
wow,
sums
that
up his
was pretty
presidency, Bill.
descriptive.
What? How does that sum up his presidency?
Like, okay. Like, it was yeah, it was a complete shit show, train wreck on both sides. And I mean, I get it. We all wanted to know, just for the sake of who's going to be our leader the next 4 years.
Yeah.
But good God, they took it, just the whole coverage. It was too far. Right? I mean, just too much, constant. Yeah.
Well,
What are you gonna do?
there's so much fucking hype behind this, right? There's just so much very polarizing last couple of years anyway. And so this is a kind of the culmination of all of that. But I was just getting ready, like all the fucking maps, right? Everybody had the blue map and the red map, and
Yeah.
you're like, and I saw a tweet or a meme or whatever it was, and it's just like, I've seen more maps in the last like 24 hours. I'm finally ready for my 11th grade geography test.
But as an analytics guy, I respected it because like they were like 3 clicks away. So like you start off, you're in like in the whole US map, and then they do like 3 or 4 clicks, and all of a sudden they're like, so as you can see right here, the Starbucks in Erie
Yeah,
County, it looks like was a 7-3 vote for Trump, Tom. I mean, it's pretty intense, you know. I was like, man, that is really
yeah.
granular.
They got um they got into there's one map out there that, I mean, for all of the data nerds that listen to us, there's one map out there that really shows where people actually vote. So they color the whole state red or the whole state blue, but when you break it down to like the actual counties and where the votes are actually coming from, there's a shit ton of white space out there. Because you get out to fucking
Yeah.
Montana, and I mean, the whole state isn't covered in people. I mean, it's only going to be in like 4 areas, right? So,
Right, you're like, that
um,
state is huge, and they were like, and Trump won 500 to 400.
yeah,
You're like,
I love
that's
the
a fucking state? Like 900 people voted?
exactly. Well, it's kind of funny. You get into like all the conspiracy theories about the voter fraud, and this is how dumb Americans are in general. Just Americans in general are dumb. Just like look at these numbers. It says that there's only 280,000 200 or, I'm sorry, 684,000 people in Washington D.C., and look at the vote counts for Washington. They're like 4 million, and they were confusing the state with Washington D.C.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And the one dude the one dude I saw, he was like, "This is the votes in Georgia," but he was looking at literally the country of Georgia, not the fucking state of Georgia, and he didn't realize that there was an actual country of Georgia, which is like it's the Ukraine. It's basically Russia.
Right, I was gonna say, I mean, does that bastard
Mhm.
ever watch the Olympics? Everybody knows Georgia's in the Olympics.
Yeah, for some fucking weird, something weird. But it's just fun. It's like, dude, I mean, come on. It's just, one says Washington D.C., the other one just says Washington.
I have no idea what District of Columbia means, Tom, but it's fucking Washington, clearly right here.
Look at all the fucking fake votes that Biden got in Washington. What?
Everybody knows Washington's in the Northwest. What the fuck is this? Fucking
Look
by
at how short
Delaware?
they're short on some votes. There's like 4 million people in that state. How come there's only 600 votes? 600,000 votes.
Voter
The one
suppression,
good
it's got to be.
it's got to be yeah, it's got to be voter suppression. I mean, historically though, I mean, just an ass ton of people came out to vote, which is awesome to see.
Oh, most
Um,
ever.
yeah, and one of my buddies, I think I got up at 6. I got to the place opened at 6:30, and I got there about 6:40, so about 10 minutes after it opened. And there was probably not once like there was probably 100 plus people in front of me, easy. I was outside. I was
Wow.
waiting in line outside it was at the school, so I was waiting outside at the school, and I was texting my buddies as we were going, and I'm just like, I said something about all of these people voting, and my one buddy said something about taking a national holiday for voting. He's like a
Oh,
bullshit
yeah.
about a national holiday for voting. And my comment to him was look, if turnout is going to be like this every year, then I'm all for a national holiday of voting. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's going to be basically what it was, 145 million people voted. Yeah,
Yeah.
75 to
Yeah.
70. So yeah,
Most
about
ever.
145, most ever. But we're Americans and we're fat and we're fucking lazy. And what's going to happen is they would give us a national holiday for voting, and nobody would vote. They just go fuck off on that day because it's a free fucking
Yeah,
day
you're
off.
you're actually right. You're right.
Yeah,
That's exactly what would happen.
that
Like the
would be
few
the
of us
only
who, yeah.
that would be the only reason that I, not the only reason, but one of the reasons that I don't think it would work is because of that.
No, I think you're right. Like it would almost, yeah, yeah. And you'd almost be like, show me proof you voted, but not who you voted for or whatever would be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good call. You're right.
I
God damn it,
I mean, I will just
opportunistic bastards.
and it's not. I mean, people that want to vote are going to go. People that want to vote regardless. They find time or they take the day off or whatever. If Here's the other thing too. If you wanted to, maybe it's not a national holiday, but maybe if you take the morning off to go vote, you don't have to take PTO for it, right? You can just that's kind of a you still have to go to
Yeah,
work if you're not voting. But I don't.
yeah. But if
There's
you come in an hour late, hey, you were voting. Good. Good
yeah,
deal. We're not going to worry about it. And I think
yeah.
I heard stories of that where companies were pretty good about it. Like, hey guys, it's like 4:45. I know everything's really busy. It's going to shut down at 7:30 or whatever. Go ahead, go ahead and get out of here. Try to beat some of this traffic and vote.
Yeah,
That's
I
kind of
mean,
cool.
and some people I know, their bosses was just like, don't bother taking a PTO day, just go vote. Well, we're all working from home now, right? So it's not like you have to come into the office, but just take your time and go vote. I mean, I had a call at like 9:30, and I got there at 6:30. Was it 9:30? I think it was 9:30. Anyway, I got home at it took me almost 2 hours to get through the line and vote. It was kind of
Wow.
somewhat of a cluster though. They were doing everything. Remember Ohio had that issue or Franklin County had that issue with the
Oh, so they
iPads or
were
whatever.
doing
So they,
paper.
they
They
had
were
to go
doing
back to
paper at
paper.
first.
Yeah. No, the
Oh
paper
wow.
check-in. The voting was electronic, but it was a
Oh,
paper
got it.
check-in. I
So were
have to.
they like being that it was Dublin? Were they like handing out lattes and cappuccinos in the parking lot, like what you guys are
No.
pulling up?
Although it was at the school and they had like a bake sale at the school, so you get like donuts and they had coffee and I'm like,
Hey.
you opportunistic motherfuckers are standing. It's like, you know, you're standing in line just staring at food at 6:30 in the or 7 o'clock in the morning. You're like, fuck it. You know what? Here's $10. I'll take a
That does
coffee and donut.
$35 later, I fucking voted. What did you paid somebody off, you son of a bitch? No, no. Coffee and donuts, man. They like, what are you gonna do? I mean, they kept wafting the shit. Like, how do I not?
It's kind of funny. Like this donut's like $8. $8, and like, hey, where else are you gonna go, motherfucker?
Right, you're gonna get out of line. God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. All right, fine.
All
The
right.
coffee's $7.50. This what?
Right. Now I can't even get a $5 bill back when I give you 20.
Exactly. Yeah,
Would you care to round up to support the God damn it? No. Yeah, I don't want change. Yeah, go ahead. Before you know it,
Wait
it's
a minute.
$16.
What do you mean? What do you mean this is to support the football team? This is one of the richest counties in fucking. This is one of the richest cities in the state of Ohio. Your fucking sports endowment's like $4.5 million.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Yeah, where
Well,
I was, it was. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say this is to
No, go
raise
ahead.
money for fucking stainless steel plated sinks in the bathroom. What?
Right. Have you seen? We've got bidets in there now. Whoa.
What?
I mean, I guess
We're
your
having
houses are
the
pretty
we're
clean, but-
having the we're having the designer of Alabama's weight room redo ours. It costs money to do that.
Right.
Got a
You're
big fucking-
familiar with Love It or List It. We hired that guy.
Exactly.
No, I haven't heard of it, but I mean, damn, it sounds pretty good. May as well. All right, go ahead and round up. Just take the whole damn 20. Son of a bitch.
Here's 20. Okay, $20. Here's half a donut and 4 ounces of coffee.
Right. Where's the rest of the donut? Oh no, these are low carb. Oh, damn it.
What do you mean they're all brand? Motherfucker.
It's got pretty expensive this year. Maybe I'm not voting anymore. Oh man.
So
that's
you were
awesome.
saying where you voted.
I was gonna say where we were, it was interesting. So there was you first walked up and there were looked to be some conservative gentlemen with AR-15s just lined up. But they in their defense, they weren't like blocking you. You just had to, kind of maneuver your way around. I mean, they scoffed at you, but you made it. I got through the line. It was cool. Walked down the sidewalk and went in the front door. And then there were all these Democrats just wielding, swinging dildos around, and swinging dildos and just handing out Plan B like crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck? How'd you know I have this many kids? That's crazy. And so it takes a little while. I mean, they were
20 years too late on the Plan B.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't even know if Plan B existed then, but
I don't think it did.
we
I
may or
think
may
so.
not have
That's
used it once or twice.
That is a feat of modern medicine right there in the last couple of years.
A feat. Awesome. Yeah, so once I made it past there, I didn't get any paper cuts from the Plan B boxes. You find now it's time to check in. But no, I mean, all seriousness, I love the visual of just dildos swinging everywhere.
Vote for Biden, swinging dildos. With the Biden, it's like a Biden logo on the side of the dildo.
And as you're dodging, you're like, wait, is that Biden's dick? Jesus. Are
I'm
those
voting for
molds?
him.
Like, gee, are those molds? Damn.
If you're
Small hands can't compete with that.
If you vote for Biden, you get a free Biden dildo.
Could you imagine the news people with that? Like, you see him ducking, like, man, this guy's got a really good groove going here. There's a pretty big vein on the left side of that one. If that gets you, you're going to be concussed. I can promise you that much. No, it was actually, I think I was texting with you. I mean, first of all, it's at the end of my street pretty much. So, I mean, literally you just walk there. It's a couple minute walk. I think from the moment I left my front door till the time I was back working, it was like 25 minutes. I mean, it was easy. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, I think we were IMing each other, and I said, I'm like, yeah, go vote. And I went up and got a cup of coffee, came back, and you're like, well, I'm done. I'm like, what? How the fuck?
Yeah,
How did that
it was
happen?
crazy. I think we're
That's
just
awesome
pretty
for you.
lucky the way just the way the town lays out. So plus, I mean, who knows? Maybe a lot of people mailed in. Although as a town, this town tends to be more Republican, so I guess I doubt that. But yeah, I mean, it's always been any election we've had since we've lived here was really super easy. Even we've been here since '07. So yeah, both Obama presidencies, there was a big voter turnout for those two. So, yeah, I mean, it's always been pretty easy. So that's one thing I will not complain about, And also, what I think happened, like you were saying, is I think there were a ton of people who wanted to beat the rush. And then I
Hmm.
bet if you waited, like I went at 8:30, so that initial rush had probably died down. So I bet
Yeah,
6:30 and 5:30 in the evening were probably the two like
yeah.
absolute worst.
Because by the time I got out of, it was about, like I said, it was close to 8:30 by the time I got out, and the line had dissipated down to like there was only like two people standing outside the door. And fuck, man, I was almost around the building when we first got there. So it's probably that's probably right. It's probably eight. By the time you went, I think that kind of initial wave had gone down, and you also don't know how many people pre-voted in your area too.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah,
early
for
voted,
sure.
sorry, not
That's what.
pre-voted.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
I
it's
heard
early. I think it's yeah.
pre-voting can get her pregnant as well. Oh,
It
sorry,
can.
it's pre-cum something else. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Well, I was to say premature ejaculation, but can do that
Hey,
too as well.
yeah, I imagine it could. It's unfortunate, but I mean, hey, presume it gets the job done if that's what you're going for.
Well, yeah. If you're that, then you've
If
reached your objective.
if your goal was to finish in 45 seconds, I guess congratulations. Feel like
Depends
she
if
wasn't happy about it, but
depends on if the game's on. So, um,
let's see. The game's on in 2 minutes. I can do
yeah.
this. All right, let's go.
Exactly. All right, well,
But dude, DVR has been such a game changer with that, though.
oh god, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, who hasn't among us just hit like nonchalantly, like pause, um, go handle your business, and yeah, 25 minutes later, you're out there drinking Gatorade to replenish fluid and watching the game.
And getting skipping through the commercials.
Yeah, actually, it works out pretty damn well.
I'm so used like we tape we try to tape like every we have Google TV, YouTube TV, and it has unlimited DVR. So if we even think that we're gonna like a show, we'll DVR it because it's unlimited. So
That's
we've
pretty
got like
awesome.
50
Yeah,
shows fucking taping, and I use air quotes for taping because it's all cloud based. But um
right.
but just the idea of zooming through the commercials, I can watch an hour show in like 35 minutes. Um
Oh, dude, we are so spoiled, man.
oh,
Like it
totally.
seriously to be able to do that. I mean, I almost now when a game comes on feel the urge to take a shit just so I can fast forward through things. Like, well, but the game's on. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to go ruin everybody's weekend, and now I can fast forward through all the commercial breaks for the first half.
And then
It's
you
pretty
do it
solid,
again for
man.
the second half. Oh, it's
Right.
awesome.
Right. Then I eat
It's
20 wings so I can drop those out.
that's funny. I mean, the sheer fact that today, and that I'm gonna date myself here, but that you can like just push a button and the channel changes instead of getting up and walking up to the TV and having to fucking move the dial. Um,
Oh, dude, that is like, do you remember the remotes that just had buttons, like
yeah,
just push buttons on it?
yeah, like
And there were like 10 of
physical,
them?
yeah,
Yeah.
physical. But and the thing weighed like 4 pounds because it was emitting radiation, just less than a microwave.
Oh, yeah. I think if you hit, if you hit the button 500 times, I think you got cancer.
Exactly, of the hand. You
Right.
grew it.
I
You
got hand
grew an extra.
cancer.
Grew an extra thumb.
Hmm.
Which
Some
is,
call
I
that an
mean,
advantage.
well, depends on where you want and use your thumb. Um, but back to the election. I'm trying to keep us on topic, Mike. We should stop
Yeah.
getting us off topic.
So,
Um,
anyways, I was
anyways,
no, good.
um, I was standing in line, and these people are coming out, and they're like cheering that they voted. Like, and these weren't like 18-year-old kids, you know what I mean? That they just, if an 18-year-old came out, or, that's the first time they voted, like, yeah, it's the first time I voted. That's different than like I don't
Yeah.
know, mid 30-year-old coming out going, yay, I voted. And I'm thinking to myself, You're supposed to. It's part of your
Right, you did your civic duty as an American? Oh, yeah,
yeah,
congratulations.
yeah. That you should have been doing for the last, I don't know, however old you are, back to whatever to your 18. Um but I was like, are you fucking seriously? They were cheering each other on that they had voted, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a oh my man. I mean,
Were they,
there
like,
were a
doing,
couple of
like,
years that
chants? They're like, "Guess who voted?"
no,
like, were
it
they
didn't
going
get to
that
that
far? Or,
point.
I mean
No, 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 no. Thankfully they didn't get to that point. Um now they're the type of people that are like, yeah, I voted, and then you're gonna hear about who they voted for and how much they know politics for the next fucking 4 years. So, um,
Yeah, that you're right, that is annoying. Because then now everything like, "Well, I know more than you because I read a newspaper 3 weeks ago." And you're like, "What? Come on.
what? I
Stop."
read a newspaper about the candidates and voted. Oh, like I don't know, 145 million other people.
What would you do on issue 2? What was issue 2? Oh my god.
Yeah, what do you know, idiot?
Thought you read the paper with your smoking jacket in your goddamn Nash
Nash
Rambler.
Rambler.
My brother-in-law's
Yes.
girlfriend, so we on Halloween we went over to my father-in-law's house and she was like, "So, big Nash Rambler fan, are you?" And I'm like, "Nice.
All
Somebody
right.
listens."
That's right.
Yeah,
Shout out
I
to
dug
your
it.
who is she again?
That was
Your cousin?
Erin. That's Derek's girlfriend. It's my
Oh, okay.
brother-in-law's girlfriend. Yeah,
Brother-in-law's girlfriend. There you go, Nash Rambler. I'm surprised she knows a Nash Rambler,
she
unless
didn't
she's
know
like
what
an
the hell
auto
a Nash
mechanic.
Rambler was. Yeah,
Oh,
she
okay.
right. She rebuilds motors on the side. No, she did not know what a Nash Rambler was. So after that, she was like, "So what exactly is it?" And then my brother-in-law was like, "Yeah, it's a shit car, but I mean, I guess it's called a classic." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty good description,
anything
actually."
anything over 25 years is a classic, Mike. So
Right. By definition, it is a classic. I'll let you take that for what it's worth. The
you're
Nash
like,
Rambler.
does she know cars? She's the main engine builder on I just thought of his name. I just fucking forgot his name. Oh, that was gonna be a good joke.
Oh,
I keep
damn
saying
it.
Emerson Fitter. I wanted what the fuck's his
Emerson
name?
Fittipaldi?
I was gonna go with Emerson Fittipaldi, but he's long gone. The
Bobby
Andretti,
Rahal.
and no, I was
Oh,
Ray Hall
Andretti.
or Andretti. Yeah,
Well, Ray Hall's
Ray
just from
Hall.
here. That's the only reason I
Yeah,
said that.
yeah. Well, that's the other guy. I couldn't think of his name either. Ray Hall. My buddy's parents used to live behind him in New Albany.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure
they
Deb was I'm sure it was an okay neighborhood.
yeah. I guess they'd been over. I think my buddy had been over to Ray Hall's house a couple times. For I guess
That's pretty
they were
sweet.
doing rich neighborhood things that whatever rich neighborhoods do. Um,
You're right.
but
I'll never know what that's like, but please keep going.
exactly, me either. But yeah, I had the perfect joke. Like, does she know Nash Rambler? She's the main engine builder for Bobby Rahal. What? Really? No.
But if you would have said Emerson Fittipaldi the first time, I
Yeah.
mean, that would have been just such a good name drop. That really would have been really good.
Yeah, shows you what kind of a racing nerd I am.
I was going to say maybe 2 of our listeners would have knew who that was, but it would have been awesome. It's a cool name. You got to admit that's a cool name.
Emerson Fittipaldi's a great name.
It's an awesome name. Like Bobby
Yeah,
Rahal, like it's cool because he's local, but that's no Emerson Fittipaldi. I mean,
I was trying to think of an F1 name, but I can't think of anything. Michael Schumacher. That's a good name.
no, there you go. Yeah, that's one of the bigger names. I forget who's the guy who was on Dancing with the Stars. I don't watch Dance, or was he on? Not
No, I
Dancing
have
with
no
the Stars.
idea.
Wasn't there a driver on The Bachelor?
Oh no, I don't watch that either.
I mean, I don't either. So, all right.
Jesus,
Well,
are
I
you
mean,
sure? Because
with
you've named off Dancing with the Stars and The Bachelor. So I'm starting to
Hey, yeah, I
but
don't,
look.
but I can't even
y-
think of anybody who's on it.
Um, it's hysterical coming from me, the guy that watches fucking Love Is Blind and Love Island. You know what I mean?
So actually, yeah, actually, you interrupted me. I was going to go with that joke actually, with coming, being with your, affinity for Love Island. I figured you would know who were on these shows,
Oh,
uh,
I
but
would
that's
not.
okay.
I only
That's all
watch
right.
Love
I mean,
Island. I'm very
that's all right. You're
dedicated to
allowed to. There's,
one shit show.
I mean, you know what? Based on the content of our podcast, I would expect nothing less. I mean, there's a lot more, right? There's a lot more dong and vagina play on
Oh
on Love
god,
Island
the
than there
British
is on the others.
the British one is way better than the American one. If from it comes to that, I mean,
Really?
but
You walk, they pan into the room and you just hear a just slapping going on. You're like, "Ooh, someone's taking a pounding. That guy's
yeah,
making it
you
to the next
actually
round. Am I right?"
you actually do. I mean, it's that. I mean, it's that provocative, as they say. So
Hey, that's awesome.
it's
I don't know that
just shy of
NBC or
porn without the
CBS
actual.
could. Yeah, I don't know if CBS could get away with it, but I'm always good for a good ball slap. I mean, it's
It isn't.
yeah.
Well, Shannon, was it on CBS or was it on Fox? I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
I don't which I don't even know which one we're talking about at this point
The
either.
American version of Love Island.
Oh, okay. I feel like
The
it was
British
CBS,
version's
but
on
I didn't
Hulu.
watch it. What network was that on in England? BBC. Like, of course, you can name
No,
any network name, and I'll have no clue what the fuck it is. So
I
it's
think it's
fine.
ITV. I think it's on ITV.
Is that like one of the main networks, or is that a cable network?
I don't even know. I don't understand the British television setup because the BBC is British Broadcasting, so their whole setup is like public, like their whole network is like public broadcasting. But they've got like
Yeah.
5 channels. You got like BBC 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Ah,
So you have, and they
got it.
all do different things. But there are other, I mean, there's ITV and there's other like stations, I guess if you want to call out there. But BBC just essentially rules in
Yeah,
general.
and
So
yeah, and there's BBC America. I mean,
yeah,
they're doing something right. Graham Norton, see that every once in a while.
Graham Norton. That's a pretty good show. Graham Norton's a pretty good show. But this it's so used to like they don't because the BBC is funded essentially by the people. I mean, obviously very socialistic over there. Taxes are like 50%. Um, that there's no commercials on TV. So when you watch Graham Norton over there, you literally watch it for 45 minutes straight. There's no break.
Well, maybe those cheap bastards could offer some, advertising and maybe cut down that tax rate to 40%. I mean, so that's crazy
Nobody
that
interrupts
the
my Graham
tax.
Norton.
That's fair. You know what though? You're right. I bitch about it, but who wants commercials?
Well,
My
it
kids.
gets
That's
back.
who.
It gets back to the whole thing of like, if we're gonna kind of pull it back somewhat semi politically, it's like nobody wants to pay taxes, and it's like, well, then how does shit get paid for? Like how do the bus, like I don't say the buses run, but like how do you get your fucking mail, and how do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just there are things where the federal government provides for. Now, the argument is over how much they provide and who they provide it to. I mean, that's where you kind of get into the Republicans,
Oh, for
Democrats, and
sure.
all that kind of. But if it's going towards like, here's I'll give you an example. Like the tolls on the New York State Thruway, right? It's
Yeah.
they're expensive. I mean, I
Oh
forget
yeah.
what it is but when you get to a rest area, the place is clean, the building's new, everything's kept up, the roads are in mostly, if not all, really good shape. So you can kind of see where the money's going. I think where people get pissed off is they don't see where their fucking tax dollars go. So they don't know that it's being used here or being used there. Um, it's shit like that. That's my opinion.
No, that's a good call. I mean, I say that all the time. Like where we live, like you just leaf blow or rake your leaves to the curb, and they come and suck them up. And that's a comment I always make. Like, hey, at least for once, I can see where my tax dollars are going.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I think that's a good call, man. I mean, I know that's a big talking point for me. It's more about the efficiency, the way our government things run. So,
Oh,
like, part of me wants to be like, hey, can we corporatize our government jobs a little bit?
the
Like,
first thing, I mean, they've been hammering the post office because that's all fucked up. And it not because of this election or who
oh
Trump
no,
put into
no, yeah,
place.
yeah.
That's been fucked up for a very long time. And one of the main things is they I don't know how they do this, and but I've heard that one of the main issues for the post office is that they pre-fund the pension. So does that mean like when you start to work at, and need to read more into it, but they've got to come up with a shit ton of upfront money when you start working. It doesn't build up over time as you are employed. So
Hmm.
that's one of the main reasons it's kind of underwater all the time, because most of the time their rates are lower than everybody else's. So and but the motherfuckers. eh, So okay, let's say that pre-funding's out of the way. Your rates are lower than everything else. So you like, I'm going to use the post office because it's $4 cheaper to ship this box than it is with UPS. Why does it take UPS 3 days to do it, and it takes you 17 and a half days for this? I'm just like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
and
I
UPS,
want,
I can track it where it is,
yeah,
and you have to pay extra to do that with USPS. Here we are
yeah,
now. Now look at us, fucking politicians up here bitching. You
exactly.
know?
I want to see somebody like a former CEO of UPS or FedEx running the post office.
No, that's kind of where I am. Like, when I say corporatize it, I don't mean like what we need are to have boards that collect money and control stock prices. Like, that's not what I mean. Like, I mean, like,
Run them like a
how
business.
about let's run more efficiently. I mean, good God, the DMV. Come on, is there anything worse than going to the DMV? I think I'd rather get
Maybe.
blue balls than go to the DMV for an hour.
Well, I was gonna say getting shot or something like that. I mean, that's
Right.
probably worse than
Okay, all right,
there.
there's 12
There's
things
a
that
f-
are worse, but
there's a few
yeah.
yeah, there's a few things that are worse than going to the DMV. But yeah, it's a fucked up process.
Yeah, I'd rather have blue balls than go renew my driver's license.
Well, what frustrates me is, and now we're just gonna bitch about government. Um,
Right. We've full on we have shifted to the old men that shake their fist
y-
and bitch about politics. Great.
where's those fucking conspiracy guys we had on a couple months ago? Um,
Oh man. Oh, what do you think how those guys would have handled last week?
fuck, I didn't want to get into that one.
Dude, they're beating off like crazy to all this stuff. Are you kidding?
And they're all data nerds, so they're like laughing at all the visualizations, like, ha ha ha, you wouldn't do that in Tableau. You're like, what?
Right. That's not dude, where's your linear regression? There's not even a parabola on the goddamn thing.
Oh, what's that? R graphing or R programming or whatever. Programming in R. Um,
Oh man.
who names? That's all fucking like nerds. They name their fucking program R. It's not like Windows or Mac OS. Or whatever. It's like R. Literally the letter R. You lazy millennial motherfucker. R programming.
Oh man,
Um.
that was a crazy week for sure.
Oh God, yeah. It was batshit crazy.
I'm
I was
glad it's
joking with
over.
you guys. I'm
No, go ahead,
joking
man.
with you guys today about like I stopped watching the news, like literally just to stop watching the news. I get all my news from
Oh,
memes now.
I think you were joking, but I think you really did stop watching the news. I got that feeling.
I sort of have. I mean, you get your news feeds here and there.
Except for when you said I watch e-news, but then I knew you were telling the truth.
I don't watch news.
I was trying to come up with something funny and clever to be like, so yeah, but I couldn't. I fucking failed that.
I was actually going to respond with TMZ, but I didn't. Instead
That
of
would have been
e-news.
more, yeah. That would have been better.
Well, e-news has news in it, so I get, you know what I mean. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to watch the news, e-news, you know what I mean. TMZ, I don't think wouldn't have sounded as good.
Nah, it would have been, yeah, it would have been good content, but I get you.
Yeah, you know where I'm going.
Nah, man, I'm glad the shit's over. Like, not because, I wanted this person or that person. Like, I'm just tired of the shit. Like, can we move on? Like, I want to laugh at stuff. This is way too serious. And that doesn't mean I don't care. That means I'm tired of the shtick. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, the
I
rhetoric.
care. Right, the rhetoric, the shtick, like it didn't need to be all that. But what are you gonna do? This is the
Ah,
world we're in, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Currently, I saw
But
something
hey,
posted the other. I saw something
not
posted the
good.
other day where how to recycle your yard signs.
Is it any like what do you do? Like you just put it in your recycling bin,
I,
or is there
I
like
didn't I didn't read it, so I don't even know. So I think you shred them up, melt them down, and then you spin them in a yarn and make a sweater. I think that's how it works.
that sounds that sounds awfully crafty. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's all
Oh, that's
about
all.
being efficient with your products, leftover products.
But yeah, so what else is going on in the world, man? I mean, aside
You know what?
from
I asked this question the other day. Whatever happened to garbage burning steam plants? I mean, what? That's the fight. There's no. You burn the garbage, it generates steam, and the steam powers a turbine, and you create electricity. What the fuck happened
um
to garbage burning steam plants?
yeah, I mean, I think there's still some
Syracuse,
around.
Syracuse used to have one in
Yeah.
Jamesville. Yeah. Yep. And Evanston Northwestern or Evanston Hospital in Evanston, Illinois, had one too. They'd burn all their medical waste, and it powered the some of the hospital.
And that was like their like that was like your I guess now they're using what solar power for everything, but yeah, that I get that's actually pretty creative. Like cuz there's use your waste,
Yeah,
put it
absolutely. And
back
then
into
you don't
something.
have garbage
But I mean, did
landfills
it
and
kill
shit.
the ozone and all that shit though?
I have no idea. Evanston's a super rich area and very old. Like my wife likes to call it old Chicago money. Like the families have been rich for since the 20s. Um, uh, that they complained about the smell, so they made them shut it down. So
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, I
Guys, I
get
mean, it's killing the ozone layer. We could give a shit about that. It fucking stinks.
it. Okay,
How am I supposed to
we'll
play polo in this shit?
exactly. The polo fields smell like burning medical waste. Okay.
But in the
Buffy and
meantime,
I don't
you
like
know
the
what?
smell.
Oh, hello, Buffy. I feel like the name Buffy, you got to say it in British, and you're playing
I don't think
tennis.
British. Just kind of you got that hoity-toity voice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, yes, quite. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I
Or,
follow.
um,
I follow.
I just thought of the line from Fletch where he says, "Can I borrow your towel? My car just hit a water buffalo." I don't know why that popped into my head, but it did.
It's a great movie. I haven't seen it in a long time now.
Fletch, yeah,
Are there any good
very
election
non-political
movies?
Fletch.
Yeah, Chevy Chase has gotten pretty weird over the years. But are there any good like political movies?
Um,
Trying to think. Man of the Year with Robin Williams was solid. But that's
Red,
because
Red
Robin
was
Williams is awesome.
yeah.
Red.
God rest his Red. You see Red with Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman and Helen Mirren and
Yeah, I had to
um,
have, but I can't think of it right now.
yeah. It's not
I
really a
mean,
political movie. It's more of it's a spy movie, but the one dude's running for president, so it's kind of has an election theme
okay,
to
so
it.
it counts. This
Yeah,
is same logic as Christmas movies. I get, I follow.
yeah, pretty much. Um,
Um,
I don't know. I haven't. I've drawn a blank on the political movies or sorry,
I
not
am
political movies,
too.
but election movies.
Yeah, there was what was the movie with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis? That was a election movie, not for president, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, whether they running
that
for
was
like
pretty funny.
mayor or something. Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
and Will Ferrell throws a punch at him and
Senator,
punches the baby.
baby,
Is
yeah,
that what it was?
senator. I think it was senator. Yeah.
That was a pretty funny movie.
So as you can tell, Carrie, we did a shit ton of research for this episode, so we're good.
It's what we do or don't do, I
Yeah,
guess, depending on how you look at it.
yeah,
What else is going on, man? I mean, it's
uh,
been 3 weeks.
yeah.
Anything else good? The weather's been great. It's been mid
Weather's been great.
70s.
Yeah, I actually feel better finally now, I was miserable this morning, and from Sunday on, I had this. Well, getting into some medical issues, but some sinus. I had like sinus pressure and headaches, and it's just awful. But I finally feel
Yeesh.
good. Finally, yeah. But it's my wife is having some issues, and my sister in law was having some issues. So maybe we got the Rona, but I doubt it. My sister in law
Oh
tested negative.
Jesus.
No,
Well,
my
that's
sister in law
good.
tested negative. Yeah. So
Or
hey, that's what. Hey, what else is going on? Pfizer's got the new vaccine.
hey, there it is. There's going to be a lot of third limbs rolling around, but that's okay. I mean, they were able to throw it together. It's going to be interesting, man. Getting that out there,
Ninety
and
percent, 90% effective.
so I know, like, clearly neither of us are in the demographic, but if you were, would you want to be one of the first people that got the vaccine,
Um, yeah,
or
why
are
not?
you the? Because my wife's like, you know what? I want to see if a couple people grow limbs, or like how this works first, because I feel like a few months is not a great incubation period to know how this is going to work.
But how else do I mean they don't I mean yeah, I guess if you're looking I mean they usually do trials over years, but we don't have
Right.
years.
No, we don't. But
So
that's going to be the hard part, right? Like, so it turns out our life expectancy has dropped by 13 years. Got rid of that fucker though, didn't we? you know.
well,
Uh,
but I mean we could wait and then the it'd be faster to get the vaccine because there'd be less people on Earth, so that would work.
uh,
Um
yeah, I mean you're right. It just goes back to there's no right or wrong.
I don't know. I mean somebody's got to take it and but they're doing it correctly, double blind studies, independent,
Yep.
peer review, all that kind of fun stuff. So they're doing it right. Um, my a couple of my buddies were just like, "Oh, how convenient! After Biden wins the presidency, now all of a sudden Pfizer has a vaccine," and I'm like,
Like,
"Really?
okay, come
I
on,
mean,
guys.
yeah."
I mean,
But what's
yeah,
funny was
I
they're
agree.
just I said something. I said something. I go, maybe they had it and they just said it's a fuck you to Trump." You know what I mean? Just like, oh, now that you haven't won, here's the vaccine that you were promising everybody. Um,
But could you look at it the
but
other way too and be like, "Hey, look at that, Biden. Trump got it done." Like,
oh
could you look
yeah,
at it that way too?
you could go either way with
I
that.
guess it depends on what side of the fence you sit on. Because
Oh,
is
it's
this going to be
absolutely
one
what side of
that
the fence you're on.
is this going to be one of those things that both sides claim it? Like, see, with Biden in house, this is why it got done. And then somebody else is like, yeah, well, if
Well,
Trump wasn't effing everyone in their head, this wouldn't have got done either. So it's fucking Trump. You know?
um, Pence already claimed that he was behind it or something, and I guess the manufacturer came out and was like, "Oh, that's not right." But it wasn't Pfizer; it was
No,
one
he
of the other
didn't.
ones. Somebody else has one too that actually got through the FDA emergency one.
Was
But
it
Pfizer's the one
was
that's two injections.
Yep. I feel like Pence's would have been with Kodak.
That was so funny. Fucking Kodak.
Hey, I mean, good for Kodak. I mean, they got their moment back in the sun, sort of.
Hey, we're
Good for
laughing
them.
now. It'll be hysterical when they're not making cameras anymore and they're like the fucking third largest drug manufacturer in the world in 10 years.
Hey, if you're asking me if I bought 100 shares of their 24 cent a share stock, I might have. So
Is it 24 cents? I might buy some.
no,
Fuck, I gamble
no,
more.
it's
Oh.
no, because just from when they mentioned their name, I think it tripled.
Oh
No, I
yeah.
think it's like $9 or $12 or something like that. But it goes back to, again, like at their peak, this is nothing.
Yeah. That's a fucking there's someone that missed the fucking boat. They came to them first with a digital camera and they said no. They came to them first. The guy that invented the digital camera went to Kodak with the digital
They're
camera.
like, so let me get this straight. You're going to put it on some kind of drive, and you're not going to have to print stuff off and wait hours for it to come back. You guys are fucking stupid. You know,
Thanks for
who's
ruining our
gonna
business model.
right? Like, who the hell is gonna put it on a goddamn drive that you could keep forever? What an idiot! And then they're like, okay, that's awesome. I didn't. You know what? I don't think I knew that. Maybe I did.
Yeah. Can you imagine that CEO? Get the fuck out of my office with this harebrained idea.
And 5 years later, they're like, "So who's the fucking ad wizard who didn't approve that?" Like, I don't know, Tom.
he's he's hanging out with a BlackBerry CEO. Um,
Right. That's who was the next one. Like, well, at least you don't have. Hey, if you really want in, get a product like mine. This is recession proof.
physical. Who doesn't want a physical keyboard? Everyone.
No, but you don't get it.
Wah,
Businesses
wah,
use
wah.
this.
Yeah, they did until. Well, I'm gonna get too
Hey,
nerdy.
man, for a 7-8 year span, BlackBerry was a big deal. I'll
Oh,
give them
they
their
were the
credit.
fucking king, absolute king. They charged for the phone, and they charged businesses for the BlackBerry Enterprise server, so you could have secure mail. So
See,
they
there
hit
you
you on
go.
both ends.
Yeah, so
And
it's
then
just one of those like, yeah, if they invested well, then everybody who was involved did just fine.
Yeah. And then Microsoft came out with their Active Sync and said, "Oh, you guys have Exchange? Oh, we'll just give you this same thing that BlackBerry Enterprise server does for free. We'll just throw it on the Exchange platform." Wah. There you go.
Wait,
Game
wait,
over,
what?
BlackBerry.
Oh.
Don't even get me started on the whole fucking Teams Zoom thing right now. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, oh man, I actually had an issue with Teams. It wouldn't let me. I like updated a spreadsheet while I was on a call, and then it wouldn't let me present it. Like it wasn't there when I said present. Like I could present my desktop, but it wouldn't let me just present that window like it typically does.
Huh. And you know how much I love
Yeah,
when people present their whole fucking desktop.
I know. So I avoided it. I refused to do it, as a matter of fact. But um, so instead, I was just like, all right. So visualize this. Yeah.
Picture a
I mean,
graph.
luckily, with a voice like this, I'm able to go in a world where spreadsheets exist, in fields from A1 to ZZ 1006, 16,799 or whatever. Yeah, I was able to paint a really good picture with my voice, so I think we did just fine. But
Okay, great. Picture a 10 10,000 increment y axis with a 5,000 increment x axis with a blue
now,
line.
if you're really really wondering, it's 12-point font Helvetica.
Light.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be at least one of our listeners who are going to rub it out to this because it's pretty good.
I can hear the buzzing right now. Zzz.
Oh shit! No, it's good to be back, man.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. What's been going on with you since it's been 3 weeks?
Honestly,
You're the one with the
because
fucking gaggle of kids.
COVID still like kind of fucks things up, man. So I mean, we had a lacrosse tournament a few weeks ago. That was fun. Kids did great. I didn't punch anyone, so that
Yay,
worked out
Mike.
pretty well. That worked out pretty well. Went to my wife's grandpa's farm over the weekend. They've got a farm that's like literally just outside of downtown Columbus, which is awesome. So that was good. They do a hayride out there. So shout out to Raysville. It was nice.
Did they do
Yeah,
it
the
publicly
kids,
or just for the family?
just for the family. So years
Oh.
ago, they actually used to do a haunted hayride. Like they would charge
Oh.
for it. They'd set up things like they had a. This is awesome. They had a boat on his lake on fire. So like they definitely went.
Wow.
Like they went all out.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And it got to the point though, he said, like, you know what? Like with all the work and time we had to put into it, like we probably made like $9.50. like it really wasn't worth it financially.
You should be running the door. They'd make some money.
That's right. They're like, well, where you guys went wrong was I wasn't involved. Let's get some ROI on this bitch. Am I right?
Exactly. Let me pull my thinking cap out and get it adjusted.
Like, is that a backwards hat? No, it's my thinking cap. And anyways,
what you need to do is mark up this by 78%, cut this by 4.
yeah,
We
what are
can
you
save
charging
on
for a bra? Yeah. What are you charging for a bratwurst? $1.25? Man, that's an unclean meat. You could easily sell that for $3.
Look, how many did you buy last year? I'm sure we can talk to the guy and negotiate a better price. Now, if you buy used diesel, we can use that to light the boat. That's only 49 cents a gallon, so we're good there.
My shop teacher taught us how to make biodiesel. So I think we could actually, if we could just find somebody to donate some fry oil, I think we could break this down, and we could easily make back the $35 you spent on that.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you do biodiesel, you're making money because they'll sell you the fry oil to us. So we actually make money on buying, picking up the fry oil, gets it off of their hands. Then we use it and we resell it for ticket sales for the boat fire. We double our money.
But it sounded like they really had a good thing going. I mean, it sounded fun, and it's an awesome property. Like I said, I mean, it's just outside of. I mean, it's seriously like a mile from downtown.
How big's the property? I mean, how many acres?
I don't remember how many acres. Damn, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think they've got 4 houses on the property. Just the lake itself might be a 10-acre lake. So it's good size.
So we're talking, a couple hundred acres easy.
Probably. Okay, maybe it's under 10 acres, but either way, like it's not just like your little, fish pond that,
right.
quarter acre. I mean, it's, it's probably 7-acre lake, but the point is, I mean, it's a good sized lake. It's a natural spring. So it is an actual lake. It's not just a pond.
Right.
It's pretty sweet, man. Kids have a great time. My son loves to go out there for I always thought this was cool. We had a solar eclipse a couple years ago, and my wife's grandpa let my son wear his welding mask out there. So he's looking through the welding mask up at the sun. It was pretty awesome.
Well, that'll work, right? Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people don't get to see that, and they got chickens and they don't have like cows and stuff like that. But they have chickens, they'll let people board horses there. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, what kid doesn't like, I mean, we both grew up, or, you grew up on a dairy farm. I grew up kind of more in the suburbs, but it was far enough out. Like, who doesn't like to go walk around in just the open land?
Oh, God, yeah.
It's fun. Go swimming in the lake and creek or whatever. And it's awesome stuff, man. The kids nowadays have no idea.
Well, kids nowadays that don't live in those areas do. I mean, if you grew up on a farm in the middle of upstate New York, you're going to still experience that regardless of the time.
Okay, you're right.
Jesus Christ, Mike. Put some fucking thought into this thing. God damn it.
Well, I'm talking about the suburban kids. But the suburban kids. I mean, they're playing fucking video games. They're not out looking for arrowheads, jumping off trees into a lake.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not doing that shit.
No, I would agree with that.
I guess I probably should have specified. I should have specified. My bad.
That would have helped me understand. We need to communicate better, Mike.
I didn't paint the picture with my voice this time, and I apologize.
You didn't. I was really big on your Excel story, though. I was pinned to my seat on that one.
And most people are. I mean, when I do the full on in a world where, I mean, that's good stuff. Brought to you by Freedom.
Not Gessling. Ryan Reynolds. In a world.
Yeah. He's pretty good at it.
That dude's dead, though, right? The guy that did it originally.
Yeah. The something LaFontaine. Yeah, something Dan LaFontaine. That dude made hundreds of millions of dollars from his voiceovers.
Oh, what about the fucking dude that does the Let's Get Ready to Rumble dude? I mean, that guy's a fucking millionaire.
Absolutely. I think
he patented the name or copyrighted his Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
I mean, how many movies and TV shows has that guy been in?
Oh,
just to say his line. I mean, dude's got it made. I mean, think how much ass he's pounding just because he's got a great voice.
I would not know. My voice is awful. It's not awful.
You know what? Actually, you know what? I got a great voice, and I'm not pulling in a ton of ass.
Your wife's hoping you aren't.
Right. Well, I mean, not even enough from her, am I right?
Boom.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
You
But
know what
no,
I'm saying.
man. Yeah. But no, man, we really haven't had that much going on. I mean, it's there's so little. I mean, in one hand, you can still do a lot of things, but on the other, it is different.
Yeah.
Like, there's not just having the big parties. Like, there was no Halloween party for us. I mean, typically there is. Um, we didn't go to any Halloween parties. I mean, we went to the lacrosse tournament on holiday or Halloween weekend, but I mean, that was different, man. I mean, the pool was closed at the hotel. You were still masked up for the tournament and things like that. So it's still different.
Yeah, it was when we were at the hotel. I mean, it was weird. We ordered breakfast in the room the first day we were there, and it's so funny. We ordered like they don't bring pots of coffee anymore. You actually have to order like a coffee. And my wife was like, she did the ordering, and she's like, "Well, you know what? Thinking they're going to be like little, like 8 or 10 ounce cups, right? Like you have in the room, those
Yeah.
little small ones." So we ordered two of them each. So we had 4 cups of
Yeah.
coffee,
Two each. So,
and
yeah.
the woman on the other end of the phone's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, we're sure." They come there with a full fucking venti Starbucks coffees, with 4 of those. I'm like, "Fuck!" But they never said how big they were. They just said, like, she's like, "Yeah, and 2 more coffees." Really, 2 more coffees? Yeah, 2 more coffees. Okay.
And you're like,
They
it's
fucking
$8, which is the cost of a Starbucks small, you know.
what's the small? That's Grande
I don't
Venti.
remember Grande. There you go.
No,
Grande
Grande's the middle one.
something.
Vente's the
I
large
don't know what
one.
it is.
Grande's the middle one, and then I don't know what the small one is. Any of your
Cameo.
listeners can tweet to us. Oh, we have Instagram now. That's what we
Oh,
have. That's
yeah,
what's
that's
new.
right.
Yes, we are on Instagram, my friends. 1 hour and
Yeah,
one
how's
minute
that?
into this, I'm letting you guys know we have Instagram.
How's that going now that we're on the gram?
It would be better if I started posting some stuff, but we got Carrie, who was on the show a couple weeks ago. She's a follower, and three followers, I think, 4 followers. So
Nice.
yeah, we're starting a little slow. I'm not as quick onto it as you are with the Twitter. You've been done a great job with the Twitter piece of it. So,
But let's be honest, that took a while. I mean, we've been going at it for a year now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
that's true.
it took two of us bouncing back and forth to kind of get our footing, and then we hit a solid groove with 30 to 43-year-old Browns and Buckeye fans, and and I think
Hey,
we've been able
look.
to expand that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Carrie, we got Carrie's. She's a listener and follower, and she's outside of that window. So,
Yeah,
my cousin Lori's outside of that window, and she's neither a Buckeye fan nor a
Browns
Browns
fan.
fan. No, I think she's a Panthers
Uh,
fan because she lives in Charlotte.
Tom Coverdale fan.
You mean David Coverdale, not Tom Coverdale?
David Coverdale. God, who's Tom Coverdale?
I have no
Why'd I
fucking
go?
idea. I don't know why you.
Maybe there was
were
a
you
Tom
thinking of-
Coverdale in my. Maybe there was a Tom Coverdale in my life at some point. I don't know.
Tom
But that's-
Coverdale.
But now
That's
I ruined the damn joke.
You
That's
did
the
ruin the
worst part.
Yeah,
I
don't know
does
if she's
not
a
love
David
that we're
Cover-
feeling.
It's I don't think it's David. I don't think she's a David. Well, she may be a David Coverdale fan. She just might have ended up on the hood of David Coverdale's Jag, which would have been a great story for her grandkids.
That
So anyway,
would
I'm
have been.
banging David Coverdale on his Jag, hood of his Jag during a video shoot.
So he pulls out all over the goddamn Jag. And
Ruins the paint. Okay.
Right. After I saw that acid come, I realized it was a good move for me to move away. And
Yeah, exactly. And that's when the relationship ended. Luckily, she didn't go all Tawny Katane. And didn't Tawny go like fucking ape shit bonkers?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hey, that
Yeah, I
acid
think she
load,
did.
I'll tell you.
Literally like acid, not like the drug acid.
Right.
David
yeah.
Coverdale now lives in Oregon.
It's legal.
Everything's legal in Oregon. It's literally they should change their state motto to the Darwin state.
I mean, they went pretty far there, didn't they? Like,
Oh my god.
other states are like, hey, what do you guys think if they smoke pot? And their Oregon's like, pot, please. Fucking meth and coke. Am I right, you guys? Yeah. fucking rage, you know?
Oh wait,
Yeah, I
what about
mean,
heroin?
yeah.
That's cool too. Whatever.
I still go to like when did that become like when did that get introduced to the party? Like I remember like there was always like the guy, there was always the weed guy and there was
Mhm.
some, usually the rich guys did coke, but like when was the guy like, "Hey, you guys know where I could score some weed?" And they're like, "No, we're out. Got some heroin though." And like, "Oh, why the fuck not?" Like when did
Exactly.
that happen?
I love sticking needles in my arm. Let's fucking go ahead and get that all started up.
You know what goes really well with a party? Just some kind of rubber substance that I can wrap around my arm to make my veins pop out. That's how you know the party's raging. And then I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick a needle in it, and yeah, I'm gonna ingest this. I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Might eat somebody's face off,
Actually,
and then yeah,
I think with heroin though, don't you like fall asleep? Isn't it like you get like super lazy? I thought with heroin.
I don't know. Thankfully, I've never
I don't know either, but
experienced it.
I thought like PCP was the one where you start eating people's faces.
Well, actually I think it's bath salts, but I mean PCP. I think it depends on who you're with.
Oh.
Because if it's a pretty fucked up, like that's how you get a bad trip is usually when people are fucking with you.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
don't
if you're
know.
with people you
I don't,
trust, it's usually a solid go.
I don't know. Speaking, it's funny.
From what I hear.
I was just thinking. The Hangover was on TV the other day. We were watching The Hangover the other night. Um, I thought of the when you. I started thinking of it when we were talking about the dude that does. Let's Get Ready to Rumble because Tyson was in it, and then the whole drug
Yeah,
thing is actually pretty funny because he gets the wrong drugs. He buys the wrong
yeah, the
drugs.
Rufinol or whatever that
Hmm. Yeah,
supposed to be. Yeah, I haven't seen The Hangover in a while. That was a good movie.
yeah, that was a good movie. They started
We
going
need some
downhill
good.
after that, but
Yeah, I mean we need some good comedies like that. Like who gives a fuck what happens in this movie? Like that's the kind of comedies we need again.
yeah, exactly. Like a very politically incorrect movies. So.
Yeah, like it's okay. Like don't get your sand in your vagina. It's just a goddamn movie.
Did you
I mean,
see?
we touched on that, man. The comedies were so much better in the 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Did you see Chappelle on Saturday Night Live?
Oh my god. Yes, I so when
I
he
love when he goes,
oh,
"Oh, I'm sorry, did I trigger you?" And mm,
how many fines do you think he got?
oh, I have no idea. He dropped the
Because
N word like 50
a
times,
lot.
easy.
Yes, a
Yeah,
lot. And oh my god, I laughed so hard when he's like, COVID has been a tough time on all of us. The skit we're going to talk about right now are a couple
yeah.
African Americans who have recently lost their jobs. It's very serious, and then it pans to Maya Rudolph dressed as Aunt Jemima, and I was
Yeah,
just like, "Oh my god, that skit was
yeah,
so good."
yeah. That was and that came right out of the box too. It was just like, "You can't
Oh
fire
yeah,
me. I'm Aunt Jemima. What about this guy over here? Don't drag me into this woman." And it's Uncle Ben.
yeah. Or even, and then he was like, "What about the Allstate guy? Why can't you fire him?" And Dave Chappelle right away starts laughing. He broke
Yeah,
character instantly.
yeah.
Look
That
what
was
he
great. And
said.
then
Look at
Pete
Pete
Davidson.
Davidson's lips. And Pete Davidson loses it and the teeth fall out. Oh man.
I don't know if that
But
was written or not, but
I felt like the Pete Davidson part was not.
yeah,
And then even the news update. I mean, it didn't seem like at that point. I mean, it seemed like Michael Shea was just so happy that how the election had gone that he
yeah,
really could not give a shit.
yeah. That's true. But Shay's great. I didn't know this. My wife told me this, but Shay was handpicked by Tina Fey to be
I didn't
on
know
the
that.
cast in like or the news segment. I think in the news segment. Yeah,
Well,
when she was the head writer.
wasn't he a comedy writer for like I don't know if it was the Daily Show or something. He was a comedy writer somewhere. I'm
Oh,
pretty
I
sure.
don't know. I don't know the history, but yeah, I guess Tina Fey has picked him to be at least on there. The two, him and Jost, just get along. I mean, they just work well together on that show.
They
It's
do.
just
They
kind of
play
funny.
really well together.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
I love at the end of every year, the end of every season, where they have to read each other's jokes without looking at them. They just pull them up on a card. Those are great. Like they could see their eyes light up, like, and they just bust out laughing, like, oh god damn it. Um, but what's funny about that is I don't know if you know this. Obviously, you guys know this, but remember the skit with the who was the dude that did like oh god Bill Hader? Remember the Bill Hader character where he was like the clubbing guy, the clubby guy. Um,
I'm
he'd
trying
go out
to
to clubs.
remember.
He'd tell like all the new places to go and all that kind of fun stuff.
He was
Where you
like
want to,
the yeah. Go ahead. I'm
um,
trying to.
you know what I'm talking about though. You know what I'm talking about.
I think so.
And and but he said that they would write the cards and he wouldn't know what was on them. So he'd be like the part of the skit was there, but the section where it was like where you can get like two monkeys fucking a football while the one armed painter does something upside down. He didn't know what that was. Like they'd add that in after. So he would like, oh, the place you want to go to is Sparky's, and so that would be written and be scripted, and then the next card that he would be reading would be whatever the other writer wrote on there, and that's why he always would bust out laughing because he's reading it for the very first time as well. I mean, so
Yeah,
um,
that's awesome.
yeah,
Good shit, man.
I want to say Dieter, but that's not it. But Dieter was the Mike Myers character. They did the clothing. Dieter was the German Mike Myers guy.
Oh yeah, dressed in the all black.
Uh-huh. With a very small, the small rimmed circle glasses.
um,
That's funny.
all right, man. I see we're at a little past an hour. I don't know, man.
Yep.
Anything else?
I'm good right now. We got our schedule's been a little wonky, but I think we can get back on it. I think it would yeah, we can probably get back on it. So we got get some things out there. Maybe we can get another guest on before the end of the year, and we'll just keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should be able to get another few episodes in. I mean, obviously, we'll probably miss the week of Thanksgiving and Christmas, but yeah, I mean, being able to do this remotely has actually made it easier for that. So,
It actually it has. I mean, we do them on days like today because we can get them knocked out, but we can
I mean,
really do them anytime. So
I'd like to be able to do it in person again because it's fun, and I
yeah,
feel like we play off
we
each
can.
other well.
Yep, I agree.
But it's still the fact that we have an option that we've been able to figure out, though, I think is awesome, and also it's allowing us to get other guests on. So as we
Yeah,
get better with that, who knows? Maybe we'll expand that. I mean, Pornhub Analytics guy, if you're listening, we could be interested.
or if anybody listening knows the Pornhub analyst guy, please forward this over to him. So all right,
All
man.
right. Well, you can follow us on at fragmental.co or at fragmentalco on Twitter and the gram.
Yep,
It's at fragmentalco,
I think
right?
it's no, I think it's at. I think yeah, it might be or it might be at fredabelt.co. I don't even know. My phone's not near me. Anyway,
Yeah.
look
Follow
for
both of
just
them.
type in at fragmental on Instagram. You'll see the logo. So yeah, follow both of them. Love to see
Awesome.
you. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thanks, Dave.